Okay, so if you are not up on the saga right now, what's happening in my house is that there are two people who have been living here who we invited in because they said they were in a dangerous situation and needed a place to stay very temporarily until they found another place. Very long story short, they haven't left. And it's been 3 months. And a month and a half ago, we asked them to go. And then a couple weeks later, we gave them a deadline of May 1st. Very unpleasant conversations. The guy's very angry. And then 2 weeks ago, I told him if they didn't leave, because he said, I gave him a resource of apartments to look at, and he said thanks. They're looking at they're talking to a real estate agent and loan officers, and obviously that's not gonna fly. So I said, like, look, if you're not out by May 1st, we're gonna press charges for trespassing. That pissed him off good. But the next day he was like, okay, we're gonna go look at a place, and they went and looked at a place, and he's like, we're taking the place. So as far as we knew, they're moving out today. We have seen no signs. In fact, she, in the past couple of days, she's put more food in the fridge. Like, what are you doing? And we've seen no signs of them packing. We gave them a bunch of boxes. They haven't even taken them into their room. I don't know. I don't think either one of them are here. I thought she was in there, but I honestly don't know that she is, because if she isn't, she's not coming out. If she is, she's not coming out. So, I'm gonna have to go. I think I'm gonna have to go to the police about this, and it's not something I want to do. But I think that he is counting on me not doing it. What I am working on right now is, so I'm experiencing a lot of fear right now. The last conversation we had, I was very afraid of this guy. He scared me. And then he's walking around acting like we're friends. It's very bizarre. It's like super strange. Like I feel like I'm in a Twilight. So it's like, and this is the problem. Every time something like this happens, like where there's something weird and someone else is behaving in a way that like confuses the fuck out of me, I assume, like, I'm like, this can't actually be happening. There's something wrong with my understanding. I must be wrong. And this is a great thing that I'm learning, because I'm really not wrong here. I'm really super duper not wrong. Like super duper. So I am learning and growing so much from this experience. I have stood up for myself. I have found self-respect. I have found self-esteem that I didn't have before. Because I had to list off exactly who he was doing this to. I didn't have to, but I was like, dude, not only are you doing this, but you're doing this to someone who blah, 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 blah. And I listed off all my good qualities, not all of them, but a bunch of really good qualities, like about being kindness and being kind and compassionate and generous and all this stuff. And like, as I said them, this was a month ago, as I said them, I was like, I am all those things. And I'm pretty fucking cool. That's pretty fucking cool. So I found this self-esteem that I didn't have before, and standing up to him. They're in my home, right? They won't leave my home. They've been here for 3 months and they won't leave. So, this experience, has taught me a lot, and I'm standing up for myself in situations where I would have just caved or run away before. And granted, it's because I'm practicing in my head like several days before any sort of conflict. Okay. So, yeah, so I found self-respect. I'm respecting myself for standing up to this person, and I'm respecting myself for the growth that I'm going through right now. I want to put this down because it is irritating me. All right, so let's put this here. Yeah, my room is kind of messy, but whatever. So like I'm sweating. I'm sweating from fear. I'm gonna start smelling in a minute. So I've done this learning about myself. I've learned about how I process things. Like I was saying that I really do assume that I'm wrong, and that something, like when something is weird and off and like this can't be happening. My brain actually, it's like my brain actually says this can't be happening. You're wrong. Somehow you're wrong. You misunderstood, or something in the situation. You've done something to make this okay. Like that's where my brain goes whenever situations like this happened, and it's really good to be aware of that. Another thing that I'm more aware of now is that I'm someone who freezes in the face of fear. I don't know what to do. I have known this for a very long time, and I have known that it has gotten me in trouble a lot, like like a lot. It's gotten me into a lot of trouble, and like it just, well, not trouble, but it's caused lots of problems. Like I haven't been in trouble, but trouble has happened to me because of this reaction that I have, where if something's happening that I don't understand, I just freeze, and I don't know what to do. And I'm learning what to do. And granted, this is actually almost a controlled scientific experience, because they're in the house. I know something's going to happen, so I'm able to really work through it in my head. What I want to say, and you know, when I do that, I kind of practice what I want to say. It starts off really pissed off. It starts off really angry and self-righteous and indignant and all this stuff. And then, you know, it just develops, and I practice what I want to say, And eventually what it comes to, like this morning and kind of yesterday, but this morning it's coalesced. Oh my God, the amount of fear that I'm feeling right now is really intense. So it comes to a place where I've come to the conclusion and the determination to act, regardless of what I'm feeling or thinking, to act from a place of compassion and kindness and generosity and understanding, which is hard to do in situations like this. So it's funny that I really don't really want you to see all that stuff. There we go. Yeah, my blank calendar. So that's where I am right now. I want to react in the way. Can you hear the cats here meow? It's very weird. I mean, they're making a lot of noise, but I want to react in the highest possible way in this situation. I want to react from a place of emotional, spiritual growth. I don't want to put more fear and anger and bitterness and resentment into the world. I want to put more love and compassion into the world. And I want to keep this in head. The problem is when I'm faced with something, when the situation actually happens, I freeze. And all these thoughts stop. I forget about them, and it's just like survival. Like I'm shaking. I mean, you can't see it, but I'm shaking. So the amount of spiritual and emotional growth, you know, I'm sitting with all of this, and I'm all these emotions are being stirred up. It's like a storm just blowing through, and I'm allowing it to go through, and I'm observing it and I'm feeling it. I'm definitely feeling it. There are definitely feelings happening. But I'm just sitting in it, and I'm allowing it myself to feel that way by being aware of it, taking a deep breath, and relaxing every part of my body that's tense. And just allowing the feeling to be. And what is happening right now is that there is this burning sensation in my solar plexus, and like in my stomach, like right like there. And then it's like a fear up here, fluttering up here, but like there's like right down here, there's like a searing rod. And one of the things Michael Singer talks about is when you start doing these practices, you will feel this, relax, you will feel this searing heat. It's not painful. It's kind of uncomfortable, but it's slightly alarming. But it's this feeling of like just intense heat. And he's saying that that's like basically like our astral body or whatever. It's burning off those samskaras and those emotions, those things that, ooh, there's so much going on right now. There's so much going on. Just gonna relax and release it. And if I cry, I cry. Not that that's new. I need tissues. I need to go get tissues. I've used up all my tissues. So much fear and anxiety. And I'm just feeling it. I'm just aware of it. So the searing pain is it's good. It's a good sign. It's uncomfortable. I don't really like it, but I'm happy about it because I think it means that I'm getting rid of a lot of the shit that I've held on to. A lot of the shit that makes me afraid. So on the other side of this is going to be freedom. Or more freedom. It's not going to be absolute freedom because we always have work to do. But I'm not comfortable right now. It's really uncomfortable. It hurts. But I'm gonna allow myself to do it. I'm gonna go through it, and I'm gonna grow because of it, and I'm really happy about that. So they don't seem to be home, and they're not packed up, and they're supposed to be moving out today. And we told them many times over the past month and a half that they have to go. There have been very explicit conversations. So they are committing the crime of trespassing. Misdemeanor, sure. But when they won't leave your home, it's kind of serious. So the plan is, if they are not moving, which really, I mean, it is almost noon, 11:53, and they haven't started packing, and they're not here. I am hoping they arrive with the truck. Maybe they're out getting the truck. And they come back and they just throw everything in there. That's what I'm hoping happens. But, you know, I mean, I have some serious doubts. Instead of packing, she spent like 3 hours on the phone yesterday outside. And I used to like her. I really thought she was cool. But this is like supremely uncool. Supremely uncool. There's a Aesop fable that my housemate Amy made me aware of. It's this one where there's this satyr, and I don't remember who he and this other guy become really, really good friends. And they hang out and they do everything together. And then one day it's cold out, and the guy or whoever it was blew into his hands. And the satyr said, like, what are you doing with your breath? And what are you doing? And the guy says, warming my hands. They go inside, and they have some hot soup, and the guy blows on the soup. And the satyr goes, what are you doing to your soup? And the guy says, I'm cooling the soup. The satyr like runs out saying, like, I'm not going to hang out. I don't remember exactly, but like, it's, you don't hang out with someone who cools and heats things with the same breath. It's basically being two-faced. Basically being two-faced. And I'm getting the distinct feeling that that's what's going on here. And I'm learning not to trust. So it's like, I'm learning a lot of stuff about people. Yes, this is like supremely uncool. So I think in a little bit, I'm going to knock on her door their door, and if she's there, hopefully she will answer. If not, I'm going to peek in and see if they've done any packing. And normally I would feel bad about that, and I do still kind of feel bad about it, but that's not their space. That's our space. And they need to leave. So if I see there's nothing, I'm going to text and be like, so when are you leaving? What are you doing? When are you packing? Like, you got to be out of here today. And then I'll wait a couple of hours, and if they don't respond, I will text saying, like, we would really appreciate a response, because right now it doesn't look like you're leaving, and we've given you till today, and if you're not leaving, I am going to go to the police and see what response I get from that. I'll give that another couple of hours, and then I'll go to the police. If they come back, I'm going to be having a serious conversation with them, in which I will feel all the feelings and think all the thoughts, but I only will behave from the place of loving compassion. I will address his consciousness. I will address the light in him, and speak to that. And I will, in that moment, I am going to keep in mind, rather than because of the fear I feel, let that go. And I'm gonna speak to him, and I'm gonna say, you know, this is what's happening. This is what's going to happen. And say, you know, because I want to keep in mind, like, someone who behaves this way is not happy. This person is miserable, whether or not they realize it. Someone who can behave this way is supremely unhealthy and unhappy, because it's out of control. It's really unbelievable what they're doing. And, you know, it's just, like, to people who have been, like, Amy and I have been so kind and so generous and so open and so warm and compassionate and kind and giving and, like, all this stuff, and they're treating us so badly. It's, like, incredible. They will not leave our home. And it's been so long. So they're supposed to go, and if they don't, I'm just gonna say, like, look, the actions I'm about to take, I'm taking in my own defense to protect myself. I'm not taking them against you. And, like, just thinking about this is causing me so much fear right now. I just hope that in the moment, this is something I can remember to do, because I freeze. And I can't think in these moments. And that's what caused this situation to begin with. So if I can learn not to do that, I would really like that, because that's what caused the situation to begin with. Like, if I had been able to stay in a reasonable frame of mind, like, understood, like, in the moment what was going on, this never would have started. They would never have come here. I would never have allowed it. If I could have just thought in the moment what was going on. But I assume that I feel sick. I feel, like, physically ill. And I'm out of tissues, so I gotta stop crying because my nose is gonna start running. Like, I feel dizzy, and I'm shaking. I'm so scared right now to go through with this, but I have to. So I'm gonna say to him, like, look, I'm speaking to the light in you. Like, my light recognizes your light, and I need, like, it's very much on my heart to tell you, though, that your behavior, your words, and your actions, they're not you, but they're not okay. And what you've done here is I'm going to say it very kindly. I'm not going to be angry about it. I'm going to explain to him only coming from a place of wanting to help. Because, and I really want that to be what I'm doing. I want to think only about helping him. Because, I mean, this is ridiculous. I'm going to say, like, your words, your behavior, your actions are reprehensible. Like, what you've done to us is terrible. And I would really encourage you to give some thought to it. Because they're not the words and the actions and the behaviors of a happy, healthy mind. And there are so many better ways to be. There's so many more joyful ways to be. There's so many better states to be in. And that being said, the actions I'm taking in defense of myself and my housemates. Not to hurt you. But karma is what it is. And here's what will happen when I go to the police. You know, I mean, like, he thinks he's said to us several times now that he has as much right to be here as we do. Which is the weirdest fucking thing to say. Like, what? Oh my God, dude. We invited you here because you said you were in danger and you were only supposed to stay until you could find another place, but you've been here for 3 months and you have not left despite us asking you for a month and a half to go. Giving you a deadline, and now you're not even here. You're not packed up and you're not even here. Wow! Oh my God. I don't even know what this emotion is. I mean, it's funny. This is funny. It's hysterical. It really actually is. It's really fucking bizarre. It's really fucking bizarre. And it's causing a lot of emotion. And there is anger there, but right now I'm not feeling the anger. Right now I'm just perplexed. Just like, what is going on? How is this happening? What? How can you justify any of this? Like, how can you sleep at night? When you do stuff like this, how do you sleep at night? Like, this is amazing to me. Like, I would not be able to do, like, I feel sick just thinking about saying one of the things you've said to us. That makes me feel sick. So I'm going to say, like, and I'm going to explain to them exactly what will happen. You know, I'm going to go to the police. Their name will go on a report, both of them. She's Colombian and she's an immigrant, and I don't want to fucking fuck anything up for her, but they can't stay here. And he's making all the decisions, but she's choosing to go along with it. And she hasn't even apologized for the way that he's behaving. I mean, he hasn't apologized. Certainly, he's acting like we're friends whenever he sees me. I mean, it's just that makes me feel sick. Okay, so like, I feel so uncomfortable saying good things about myself. I'm a really authentic person. Like, I cannot lie. And if I do, you can tell, and then I will tell on myself very shortly thereafter. And if I feel a certain way towards someone, it is very difficult for me to act any other way in their presence. And knowing that there is no way that he likes me. And having him, like, seriously, like, the feelings I'm having right now are really fucking crazy. And having him behave like he does, just, it fucks with my head. It really fucks with my head. Like, I'm like, what is going on? How can you possibly talk to me the way that you've talked to me and do the things you're doing to me and then act like we're friends? Like, what are you doing? You know, like, what are you doing? It's really fucked up. It's really fucked up, guys. And I'm so upset this is happening to me. Like, I just spat. That's great. And I don't have any tissues. Because I cry all the time. And I use up all my tissues. Oh, man. So, I just want to, like this feeling that I'm having right now is really weird. It's like up here. And it's like a lot of energy is just coming out of me. I feel very not in control of it. Not that I'm ever in control of my emotions, right? This is just a new one. This is just a new feeling that I'm like, what the fuck is this? So, okay. Take a deep breath. And I am going to relax every part of my body that's tense. And I'm using the shirt I wore yesterday to wipe my nose because I don't have any tissues. So, authentic, right? Authenticity. That's what I go for. Sorry about that. So, you know, I'm going to explain to them as calmly as I can. No, calmly. I'm going to calmly explain, and from a place of concern, because this is what's going to happen to them if I go to the police. And I will explain to them again, you're not a tenant. You don't fit any moral, ethical, or legal description of a tenant. The description you fit is that of a trespasser. In Massachusetts, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts General Law, Part 4, Section 1, Chapter 266, like Clause 120 or something like that. I've looked this up. This has been researched. And he keeps on saying things that he wants to be true that are just not true. And I know for facts they're not true, but he keeps on saying them like they are. And I don't know whether he's thinking that they are. Like he thinks, oh, this is the way I want it to be, so this is the way it is. Or he's thinking, I'll convince her that this is what it is. Or he's just trying to intimidate the hell out of me and run right over. Because whatever he's doing, he is trying to intimidate the hell out of me. It's kind of working. You know, and he's trying to just mow over me. But I'm not going to let that happen. I'm learning a lot of respect for myself in this. I'm learning a lot from this. So I'm going to just say, you know, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to go to the police. Both your names are going to go on a report. The police will come here and they will escort you off the property. Or they will arrest you and you will go to jail. Trespassing is a misdemeanor, punishable by up to $100 fine and 30 days in prison, or both. And granted, trespassing, they don't usually enforce that stuff. They're like, okay, whatever, you walked across somebody's lawn. Whatever, right? When you stay in somebody's home and you won't go, they come down on that. You can't stay here. It's illegal. You can't stay. You don't get to stay just because, you know, they don't prosecute people who walk across other people's property to get somewhere. Doesn't mean that you could, like, that's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. There are degrees here, orders of magnitude bigger than walking across someone's yard. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we think of when we're trespassing, getting on or going into some property and like looking around, trespassing, right? That's not this. You're staying in our home and you won't go. When you first came in here, we were like, use whatever you want. Here are some spices. We have a ton of spices. Feel free to use them. After all these conversations, he's used up all my pepper. Not that like, I don't even eat, I mean, and I know that because I don't have pepper usually. I've just seen it go down. Not that I care, not that pepper is important, not that it's like more than whatever, however much it is. You know what I mean? It's just the gall. It's like, wow, dude, you've got some kahunas. Like, really, like wow. But, you know, like, no matter what, this is not the stuff I want to happen to somebody, you know, but they'll come here, they probably arrest you, they'll probably go to jail until I can get until I can take that report, go to the court. And the court's not open today, so at least until tomorrow, up to 24 hours. Get a court order. The police escort, if they don't escort you back, they show up shortly thereafter, and they will stay here until you take your shit and go. After that, you won't be allowed back on the property. So if you leave anything, your friends are going to have to come back, because we'll call the cops if you come back. You know, I'm gonna do that a lot nicer. I'm gonna do that a lot more nicely. So I will say, because I'm concerned for his well-being, not my anger, because I don't want him to go to jail. Do I? Is there a part of me that does? No, I don't. I don't want anybody to go to jail. Like, I don't want any of this to happen. I don't want any of this to happen. So, you know, I'll get a court order, and then, like, you could be imprisoned. I don't know how hard they'll come down on you, but you could be in prison for up to 30 days. And then you'll have your name on a police report as a perpetrator. You'll have your name, both of your names, on a court order as the plaintiff. And you'll be escorted. So no matter what, you're leaving. I know you think that that's not what's going to happen, but it is. And I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to get ready to go out. And if the keys aren't on the table and you haven't left with an overnight bag or whatever, I'm going to the cops. Tomorrow you can come and get your shit before noon. End of story. That's the plan. That's the plan. But he's not here. They're not here. It's 12:13 and they haven't started packing. They're supposed to be out. Like now. Like this moment right now. They should be leaving. So, the good news is I am learning a fuck ton from this. I am learning so much about myself. I am growing emotionally and spiritually. And yep, there's a lot of righteous indignation and righteous, righteous anger and kind of feeling like I'm better than him. I'll work on that. But yeah, that's what's happening right now. And and an awesomer thing is I'm sitting in this emotion. I'm allowing it to be. I'm getting that searing almost pain in like my solar plexus stomach area, like a white hot rod. And from my understanding of how this stuff works, that is my like samskara, my whatever it is that I am holding on to that this is hitting, that's that being burned away. So good news. That's what I wanted to come in here to share. So I am grateful. I am great. That's another thing I want to tell him. I'm going to be like, I'm grateful for this experience. Like I really am. I really actually am very grateful for this experience. So on that note, I'm going to remind you, as I always do, it's like Mr. Rogers, right? What was his last thing he said? Something about I love you. I'm going to have to figure that out. Is that them? So I'm just going to remind you, as I normally do, that you can always choose to have a grateful